Okay, everybody, today we're going to start in kind of a strange new way. So come on over to your yoga mat, but when you get there, instead of going onto your yoga mat, we're going to roll the yoga mat up. Unless you have a foam roller would just go grab that instead. If you don't, or you don't want to go grab it, go ahead and just fold or roll your mat up in as small of a cylinder as you can. So just roll it on up. If you're on a hard surface and you want some other kind of cushioning underneath you for now, you can definitely grab that too. We're gonna lay down and have your neck on the yoga mat. So just check in when you get there. Does it feel okay? Is it too tall? Not tall enough? How's it feeling? If it's too tall, you can just kind of unroll it a little bit. Make it as small as you need to. I'm gonna adjust my microphone here for a second. There we go. And then just start to relax. Let your head and your neck fully rest supported on your mat or your foam roller or whatever you have below your neck. And taking a few moments of centering, just notice how things are for you today. How's your body? How's your mind? How's your spirit? And how is your breath flowing? Would it feel nice to expand your breath? Both the inhales and the exhales? Only one way to find out, I say. Every exhale, like you're exhaling tension from your muscles and joints. Nice full body inhales. Fully releasing exhales. In and out through your nose if that's available to you. And if you would like to set a dedication or intention for today's class, go ahead and choose something now. Maybe just a word or phrase, something you want to cultivate in your life or focus on. Or maybe you dedicate your time and efforts here to the well-being of someone in your life or a group of people. And let's take 3 clearing breaths in through your nose. Sigh it out. 2 more. Go right ahead. Eventually coming back to a steady, natural pace of breath. And we'll start just a little tiny bit of movement. You don't even have to open your eyes. Just start with a little wiggle of the fingers and toes. And then with still your mat or foam roller at the neck. Let's slowly turn your head toward the right. So you should feel a little bit of a massaging pressure there through that side of your neck and head. And at some point, come back through the center, straight up, and then over to the left. So we're just gonna rock the head a little bit side to side. Finding any areas that feel like they need some extra work, you can kind of rock back and forth on those areas or just hold for a bit as you send your breath, your energy toward those areas. You ever wake up and you have a little neck, a crick in your neck or something? This is my go-to for stretching things out and relaxing. So just back and forth a couple more times. Stay here as long as you'd like, especially if it feels great. Next time your head is toward the right, go ahead and straighten your left arm and maybe swim it around in space, just kind of swirling that left arm around, possibly reaching down and away. So head to the right, left arm reaching away. Getting a couple more angles of stretch there with the swirl of the left arm. And when the timing is right for you, start to turn your head back to the left, savoring the in-between. This time we're pausing on the left side, and option to swirl that right arm around, noticing if you can feel some stretching sensations there through the right side of your neck. There's a lot of nerves going on here too, so you might feel a little bit of kind of nerve. I don't know how to describe it, but hopefully you know what that feels like. Almost like a little zappy feel. And then come on back to center. Wiggling fingers and toes a little bit more. Let's have a full long body stretch here. So arms and legs reaching in opposite directions, rotating the hand or the wrists rather, and the feet. Okay, tuck your chin toward your chest. Bring your elbows and forearms down to the floor, and like you're in slow motion here, see if you can help yourself up to a seat. And then we're gonna roll out our yoga mats again. So go ahead, get yourself all ready for our rest of our class here. We're rolling out the mat. Pro tip, if the ends of your yoga mat ever kind of stay rolled up for you after you unroll it, I recommend rolling inward so that it won't roll up anymore. Okay, so let's come to hands and knees for a couple rounds of our cat and cow. As always, grabbing extra cushion for under your knees if you'd like. Otherwise, hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. With your inhale, find cow pose. Belly lowering, gaze lifting. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, rounding up through the spine, tucking the chin. Cat pose. Keep it going now. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Keep going, adding on any little movements that feel interesting or useful to you. They don't even have to be useful, just interesting. I like a little twist side to side. I think it also feels really nice when you're in cat pose. Just let your head kind of hang, bringing one ear to one shoulder and then the other. Find your flow. When you've had enough of cat and cow, We'll head to extended child's pose, bringing the knees out wide and the big toes touching behind you. You might sink right into your child's pose or take a couple moments to warm yourself up, coming back up, sinking back a couple times. Eventually, maybe coming to your forearms to rest, or walking your hands up toward the top of your mat and then sinking your head and heart down toward the floor. Taking a few diaphragmatic breaths here, filling the belly with air on your inhales. And softening again with each exhale. And option to tent the fingertips up here and reach through the shoulders so your biceps are close to your ears, just creating more length. And then start to rise up, back up to tabletop. Okay, if it's okay for you to sit on your heels, we'll sit back on the heels. If not, lots of options. We could sit on a couple of blocks here. You could stack them up. You could put a block in between your calves and your seat, or you can just stay lifted up, standing kind of on your shins. So find your way, never forcing your way. Palms face up on your lap. Closing your eyes here for just a moment. Let's do a little internal alignment. So just notice right away what's going on. Does it feel somewhat symmetrical? Do you feel like your tailbone is kind of flared back or tucked under? Can we find kind of a neutral-ish pelvis there? Lengthening upwards through the crown of the head. Feeling this state of openness. With an inhale, let's rise up to the knees, sweeping the arms around and then overhead. Come into a little back bend at the top, just a little bit. And then exhale, airplane the arms back behind you and come back down to kind of like a child's pose if you want. But we're not staying for long with the inhale. Let's sweep the arms around and up, coming to stand on the shins. Little back bend. Exhale, airplane the arms, head goes forward and lower back to somewhat of a child's pose. One more time, inhale, sweeping the arms around and up. Exhale, airplane the arms and lower down. Let's do one more for good measure. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, airplane to lower. Bring your hands down to the floor. Let's rise back up through tabletop and get ready for a downward facing dog. I love to use blocks, at least on the first round. So if you want to as well, bring those up to the top. Let's curl the toes under, and before we head straight back to downward dog, let's just hover the knees for a second. So we're in kind of like this, what do they call it, like bear pose. You don't have to stay for too long here. Whenever you've had enough, just take a breath in, and then exhale to downward dog. Find your breath, commit to your flowing breath here. Maybe pedal your legs out, bending and straightening opposite knees. Maybe firing up that ujjayi breath or that oceanic sounding breath. Sounds like fogging a mirror, but with your mouth shut. So kind of like you can especially lean on this breath when you're feeling strained or challenged rather. It can really, really, really be a lifeline. So give it a try next time you're feeling like you've had, you need a little extra support. Okay, bend your knees, look up toward the top of your mat, and step or walk to the top. Let's take a little ragdoll forward fold. Maybe toe heeling your feet out a little wider. Letting your arms kind of dangle here. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Check in with your breath. So easy to forget about it. Try bringing the weight a little bit more toward your toes, less in the heels. See how that feels for you. Maybe getting a little more of a stretch through the back of the legs. If you grabbed opposite elbows, go ahead and switch your grip here. One more breath in and breath out. Bend your knees, tuck your chin toward your chest, and then walk your hands up your legs, slowly rising to stand. At the top, let's find our little shake out here. So go ahead, just shake, 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 shake. Shoulders, maybe lifting and lowering your heels. Find your way, just some movement. Maybe some exhale, some sighs, or some ha breath. Maybe a little jump or a wiggle. Feeling so alive. Okay, when you're ready, come on up to the top of your mat. Today's flow is going to incorporate some balancing. Love to just work it right into it. So let's get started. Take a look at your feet. Find a comfortable footing, possibly big toes touching, or feet about hip width distance. Whatever you'd like is okay. Inhale, hands reach up and overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This is where we're gonna get a little bit different here. So let's just breathe like normal as we go through this the first time. With an inhale, or let's bend the knees. So we're kind of in a deeper, we're headed towards cherry pose. Let's start with that. So we're kind of sitting back. With an inhale, sweep your arms up, forward and up, finding your chair pose. Exhale, airplane your arms and your head forward. This is kind of a variation on drinking bird pose. So let's do that again. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Let's put it to breath this time. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. So bend your knees, sweep your arms forward and up. Exhale, airplane your arms, drinking bird. All right, this time we're inhaling, rise up. See if you can bring your right knee up with you to one-legged mountain pose. Hands wherever, maybe at the heart. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold and step back at the same time. So the right leg starts to go back, setting it down. Bring your hands down to the blocks or the floor. Lower your right knee all the way down to the mat. Check in with your right knee here. If you're on a hard surface, I highly recommend grabbing a little bit of cushion here. Do what you want. I'm grabbing cushioning. So here we are. We will start with our blocks, hands with blocks. Left foot can be a little bit wider so you have a nice solid base here. We're gonna get into some balancing. So sink your hips forward and down. Puff the chest up, looking straight ahead, finding this nice hip opener through that right hip. Eventually, using an exhale, transition to your half splits. So the hips pull back, still lifted over that back knee. Peel your left toes up off of the floor. And maybe staying high up on your blocks here, or a nice deep bend through your left knee. We just want to go for a little bit of stretching on the back side of that left leg. If you're not quite feeling it, or you have more you'd like to explore, you can try hinging at your hips, leading with your heart as you fold over that leg. So option to just transition back and forth like we just did, hips lowering and then back. Second option is going to be to add on some balancing. So we're going to take it slow. It might not be one movement to one breath. That's okay. Let's come to stand up on the knee. Inhale, arms, reach high. Exhale, half splits with airplane arms. Just do what you can here. Arms reaching back, head reaching forward, shoulder blades hugging together behind you. Let's try that a couple of times. Inhale, hands reach forward, sink the hips, plant the left foot. Exhale, airplane, half splits. Hands sweep back, shoulder blades hug together behind you. Little fold over that left leg. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, airplane half splits. Let's stay here for a breath in and a breath out. Plant your left foot. Hands can come back to blocks or the floor. We'll do a little step back here to our high plank. So curl your right toes under, pick up your right knee, and do what you can to step your left foot back to meet your right in your high plank. One big breath in and exhale, knees lower, chest lowers. Inhale, rising up to baby cobra. Head and chest lifting, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, option to hover your hands up off of the floor like goalpost arms, and exhale, lower. One last time, inhale, rise, exhale, lower. Take a breath resting. Inhale, press your way up, tabletop. Exhale to child's pose. Whichever variation you prefer in the moment. Knees together or knees out wide, or somewhere in between. Nice big breath in and out. Last breath in. Last breath out. Inhale, rise up, tabletop, grabbing your blocks if you like them, and exhale, downward dog. Inhale here, and exhale. Two more breaths, inhale, exhale. Last breath here, in and out. Inhale, lift your right toes up behind you, three-legged down dog. Come up to the tippy toes on your left foot, and then bend your right knee, step your right foot forward, and then your left. Making it up to the top however you can. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, joining palms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few moments, come back to you, come back to your heart space, your intention. Find or create a little moment of peace. A little moment to remember how interconnected we all are. Yoga means to yoke or union, meaning we are becoming one with everything around us. We realize our connection, interconnectedness. See if you can feel that now. Let's take a clearing breath in through your nose. Nice dramatic sigh out. I feel like the more dramatic, the better it is. Inhale, reach your hands high. Exhale, fold. Okay, we're getting back into our little chair flow here. Inhale, chair pose, sitting back, arms sweep high. Exhale, drinking bird, so the arms reaching back, head reaching forward. Inhale, chair, or we're rising up here, bringing the left knee up with us to one-legged mountain. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Inhale, lift that left knee once more. Exhale, we're folding and stepping the left foot back. Set your left knee down on your cushion if you're using one, coming up to the highest spot on your blocks and sinking your hips forward and down just until you're feeling a nice amount of stretch and opening now through that left hip flexor. Okay. And then we'll find our way to our half splits. So pulling the right toes back up off of the floor and maybe folding a little bit here. So just check in with your back. We don't necessarily want to be rounded forward, which is why we're using blocks on the highest setting. We want to keep kind of a neutral spine so that we're really focusing on what's happening here through the hamstring and calf, the back side of the right leg. Okay, now's our chance to play with that or turn it into our little balancing airplane arm flow. So toe heel your right foot out a little bit wider so you feel nice and supported. Lift your hands high. Exhale, airplane the arms, reaching your head forward. Inhale, sweep your arms. Oops, I forgot here. Inhale, arms go high. Exhale, half splits. There we go. Pull the right toes up as you find your airplane arms. Go ahead and explore that a few times through, inhaling as you rise. Exhaling to your airplane half splits. Just do about one more time through. Not sure how it looks, but it just feels like so good to do that. Okay, plant your right foot and preparing for another step back. If that first side was a little bit too challenging, toe heel your right foot way out wide first. And then curl your left toes under, step your right foot back to meet your left in your high plank. Let's see if we can stay here for 3 breaths. You can always lower your knees. We're exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. One last breath in. And out. Lower your knees. Move your blocks to the side and lower your chest. Take a few breaths as you prepare for baby cobra, pressing the tops of your feet down into the mat. Inhale, your version of baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. One last time. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lower. Just rest for a full breath. Inhale, press up to tabletop. And exhale to child's pose. 3 breaths here. Inhale, send the breath all the way down to the sacrum, the bowl, and the bowl of the pelvis. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, rise up, tabletop. Grab your blocks if you want. And then exhale to downward dog. Last downward dog. 3 breaths there. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. Last breath out. Inhale, lift your left toes behind you, 3-legged down dog. Come up to the tippy toes of your right foot. Hug your left knee in toward your chest. Step forward, left foot first, then your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, joining palms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Once again, taking a few moments to yourself. All right, let's take a clearing breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Go ahead and let your hands come down, opening your eyes if they were closed. If you have any cushions on your mat, maybe moving that to the side for now. Let's do a little side bend exploration here. So let's just first raise both arms up. Bend your right elbow and kind of hold on with your right hand to the back of your head. And then lower your left arm around and back, just reaching where you can. If you can reach the sacrum or the low back, that's fine. If you can go even higher, you can. You could interlace your fingers, though that's not even that's not even the point here. Mostly we're spreading the collarbones out. We're reaching the elbows back. We're gonna stay here for just a little bit, exploring a side bend add-on here. So let's just tip to the right and then tip to the left. Let's do that a couple times, tipping to the right and tipping to the left. Nice side bend here to the left. One more time. All right, inhale, lengthen out both arms, reach up high. Switch sides, so grabbing the back of your head with your left hand, reaching your right hand behind you. Wherever it reaches is just fine. Pull your elbows back, so you're really opening up the chest. Rest your head in your hand. Let's find our little exploration, side bending exploration here. Inhale, taking a side bend to the left. Exhale to the right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Go ahead and do that a couple more times. And then we'll find another little flow here. So arms go high. Bring that right hand behind you, left arm sweeps back, and side bending to the left. Inhale, both hands go high, switch sides, side bending to the right. So we're just switching between the sides. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale high. Exhale, right. Last time, inhale to rise. And exhale to the left. Come back to center now. Lower your arms. Let's find our way to a squat. If you know the type of squat that you like, go ahead and get right into it. If you want some options, I'm going to build myself a little seat here, a little block seat. I recommend using 2 blocks, just gives you a little more support. If you are worried about going too deep on your knees, we can just stay up here, hands on the knees, and just find a little bit of a twist here, dipping one shoulder down and then the other. You can stay right here, maybe bending a little deeper, just playing around here. If it feels okay, lowering down a bit more, maybe finding your little seat. Press the elbows into the inner parts of the knee, and then puff your chest up here. So as much as possible, we're having a neutral spine. I know it's hard to tell when we're in a pose like this. And if you ever feel like you've gone too far or you need to leave this pose, you can just take a seat. Let's take 3 more breaths here, enjoying Malasana Yogi Squat. One more breath in and out. Stay as long as you'd like, and then head to a seat. Coming down to a seat first, and then you can rock and roll a couple of times up and down the spine if you want. That would be rounding the spine as much as you can, holding onto your knees or behind your thighs, and slowly rocking back. And then rocking forward again. You can do that a couple of times if it feels okay. For some people it doesn't, so don't worry. Either way, we're going to end up on our backs soon. Okay, when you're done with your rock and roll, finding the floor. We're going to do a legs up the wall without the wall. So we're just going to lift one foot up first and then the other. See what it's like. It's pretty challenging to keep both feet up like so. If it's too challenging just to have your hands on the floor, you can kind of stack your hands beneath your sacrum, giving your pelvis a tilt that really helps keep your legs up. So go ahead and bend both knees and then straighten, bend, and straighten. This time we're going to bend just the right knee and straighten, just the left knee and straighten, right knee, straighten. Last time the left knee bends and straighten. Go ahead and bend both knees, bring your feet down to the floor. Place your hands on either side of the hips. We're queuing up for a couple rounds of breathing, bridge pose. With your inhale, lifting up the pelvis, reach your hip points high, tuck your chin a little bit more at the top, and then exhale, slowly lower down. See if you could imagine just vertebrae by vertebrae, so you're kind of rounding your way down. Explore that a few more times on your own. With your inhale, peel or tuck the tailbone under and kind of peel the spine up to bridge and back down. Again, trying to round. Like you're setting down each vertebrae. Go ahead and do that one more time. Tucking the tailbone, lifting up slow. This time we'll stay lifted at the top. Tuck your chin again so the back of your neck feels nice and spacious. Tuck your shoulder blades together behind your back. If it's easy for you to grab opposite hands behind your back, you sure can. It's almost impossible with my shoulders and arms, so I'm not going to do that. You can just keep pressing your hands into the floor. 2 more breaths. One more breath in. Exhale, lower down. Toe heel your feet out a little wider and allow your knees to fall to the right. Like a windshield wiper motion here. Knees will come back up to the center and then over to the left. Back and forth just like that at your own pace now. maybe turning your gaze opposite of the knees. So when knees are to the right, gazing to the left. And if there are any last poses, movements, or stretches that you're wanting or needing before your final rest, move through those now. And when you are ready, get comfortable in your final resting pose. Maybe it's Shavasana today with the arms and legs extended, taking up all the space you want. Maybe it's constructive rest pose with your feet standing up near the edges of your mat and allowing the knees to come together at the center. Taking a couple of sighs if you want. Check in with your eyes, softening all of those muscles around your eyes. Create more space between your eyebrows, smoothing out your forehead. Relaxing your jaw. Noticing any tension through the throat or neck, releasing if possible. Relaxing the shoulders and arms, your upper back, mid back, and low back. Relaxing the glutes and your entire pelvis, your legs and feet. Letting go of your you-ness for a moment, your separateness, your you-ness, and see if you can just kind of float in this stream of unity, connection, interdependence. Notice or sense the ways that your energy weaves with your community, with your neighborhood or family. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes if you're ready to begin reawakening your physical body. Maybe letting your head rock from side to side. Maybe opening and closing your jaw, swallowing or yawning. Maybe making your way into a long body stretch or any other invigorating stretches. And then choosing a side, roll over onto that side, finding the fetal position with your knees slightly tucked in. And enjoy one more nice slow breath here. Honoring the pause, the transition. And at the bottom of an exhale, press your way on up to a comfortable seat. Let's join hands in front of the heart. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and be free. And may our thoughts, words, and actions somehow contribute to that happiness and freedom for all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's bring thumbs up to third eye center, and we'll close together with a little gesture of gratitude, bowing forward together now. Peace. Thank you, everyone.